God kept me. Pastoring kept me from 16 when I read that when I thought that I wasn't gonna live, and he kept me through it all, even through my mishaps, my mistakes, my bad decisions. He kept me just to show me how real he is. Just to show me that no matter what people in the world say, no matter what I think myself, because there's this idea around the world of what beauty looks like, of what healthy looks like, of what a standard is.
Right.
Right? God is like, I made you, and I made you to be here. I made you to be present, regardless of what you're going through.
All right. Welcome to the Conversations podcast. Gifted Hands, welcome, man.
We outside or what? Yo?
What's your saying? What do you always say?
We outside.
Yeah. Man, I appreciate you for being on, and it's been.
Man, thank you for having me, man.
No, thank you for being on.
Yeah.
100%. Yes. The way that I met you was seeing your Instagram.
Yeah.
You were making an impact musically, but I saw something deeper.
Yeah.
And I wanted to associate myself with you. So for those who are listening, this is Gifted Hands, and I appreciate everybody for listening. This is probably gonna be the last episode of the year. So for those of you that are followers of the podcast, we do have a Bible study every Tuesday at 7 at the Assembly Building in Norfolk, where we just get together and learn the Bible. So I encourage all of you to come check that out. Bring a friend. There's a Zoom link as well. We're just armoring up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
With
That's
the
it.
whole armor of God.
Yeah, just armoring up because the world needs it.
On everything.
Yeah. So, but like I said, man, appreciate you for having me, and let's get back into that conversation we were having.
Hey, listen, man. Nah, what I was telling you was, I know it's just jump back in.
Yeah.
But like what I was saying was like, when we get this like sudden strength
Mm-hmm.
to persevere,
Yes.
to have this persistence,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just something happened.
Right.
It is God. Right? Because it's like in our own strength, we would just stay there.
Right.
In our own strength, we wouldn't get out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't take care of ourselves, like self-care,
Mm-hmm.
mental health, like we wouldn't.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like wherever you are in life, because there's people who don't talk to God,
Mm-hmm.
right? But like God shows up.
He shows up, man.
He shows up because he's a gentleman and trying to show people that he's real,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like as a believer, you're like, Lord, again?
Mm-hmm.
Lord, like how many times do I have to go through this? Blah, blah, blah. Like, when will this be over? When will I have a better life?
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff. And like, how can I? And so through your frustration, you're communicating with God.
100%.
And God wants you to constantly communicate with him
Mm-hmm.
because it's a relationship.
Right.
And so what happens is, it's all, okay, my child is acknowledging me
Right.
in their ways. Here you go, my child.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
My good and faithful servant.
yeah, and it's like, you don't understand or we don't understand because it's like, why can't we always be strong?
Right.
Right? Like, why can't we always be on the up and out of bed, being very productive,
Happy.
like happy, life just great? It's because that when you really look at it from the perspective of being a believer,
Mm-hmm.
your life is not just your own.
Right.
You are a child of God.
You are a reflection.
You know
Of
what I'm
him as
saying?
well.
And so everything in your life isn't just about you being strong. If you just needed you, you wouldn't need God.
Exactly. That's a fact. That's a bar right there.
If you, ooh, look.
Go ahead, bro.
If you just needed you, you wouldn't need God.
Mm-mm.
If you just needed you wouldn't communicate with God.
Mm-hmm.
And so like we have these, sometimes it's daily,
Yeah, 100%.
like these daily moments where it's just like, what am I doing?
Yeah,
Right? Like, or none of this is making sense.
exactly.
And I just like the other day thought I had everything under control.
Exactly.
And now things are falling apart.
Right.
And how am I supposed to fix this? How am I supposed to get this straight?
Exactly.
How am I supposed to do? And God's like,
You're missing the picture. And I think a lot of times too, people look at life as, if I have something going for me, my life is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if I'm losing weight, my life is good. If my music is popping,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, but God doesn't give to people when they think they're doing it by themselves.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he'll let it happen and remove it from your life to make you sit back and say, I can't do this without you. And it's not a matter of it being, aha, I got you.
Nah.
But the strength, like you said, is purposeful. And the struggles that you go through always come to fruition to him having the glory, but you being able to say, I really didn't think I could get through that.
Because he's not punishing us.
Right.
Through like when we don't get what we want.
Right.
It's like, yo, you don't need that.
Exactly.
It's like, I know you really think you really, really want this
Mhm.
right now, but you know what's going to happen a week from now after you already have it. And now all of a sudden your ego is flaring up.
Yep.
And you got an attitude with people who you don't need to have an attitude with.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Your character is out of place. Now I have to sit you down in a whole different way.
Exactly.
You don't want to go that direction. My ways and my thoughts are way higher than yours.
100%.
We don't take the time. We just be like, I want this right now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think timing is perfect.
Yeah.
His timing is intentional to protect us.
I think that's the hardest thing to grasp.
Yeah.
God's timing
Yeah.
versus our timing. Because let's say today is December. What's today?
Damn, my watch don't even say it. Today's the 9th?
Today's December 9th.
Yeah.
Right?
Let
And
me check.
let's say a bill is due on December 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's next week.
Yeah.
And at first, you're like, okay, no need to sweat.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I got 7 days. I'm straight.
I got it.
Yeah.
Right? Cool. Right? But then, like, it gets to December 11th. And you're like, now, Lord.
Where's the money at?
We're cutting it close here. You know what I'm saying? Like, December 13th is where you're like, oh, so you're not gonna.
Right. That's the part.
You're just gonna leave me out here?
That's the part right there.
And so, like, a lot of our timing versus his timing has to do with, it's like building character.
Yes, sir.
Because what happens is, like, when we think he's not working, our character comes out.
Right.
Like what you do while you're waiting.
What it is your heart comes out.
Like your
and
heart.
that's what he's looking at.
And he's like, oh, see, this is exactly what I'm showing you. Like, you're 2 days away from your bill being due,
Mm-hmm.
and you're cussing me out.
100%.
And this is not what I want from you, my child. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we're human.
Yeah.
So all we're not thinking about
I need to pay the
like,
bill.
You're like,
I'm gonna get my lights cut off.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't
Yeah.
nobody trying to be in the dark.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Or anybody trying to be out in the street. Like, and that's real life.
100%.
That's like real life, or being hungry and trying to figure out, yo, am I gonna pay this bill? Am I gonna eat?
Yeah.
Or like if I got a kid to feed, now I gotta I can't worry about God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
like God just be like, you gonna see.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Dude.
he's like he's not punishing us. He's just trying to
Mold.
mold us
Yeah.
in a way where like we're great at showing other people how real God is.
And I want to touch on this because I do want to get into your story and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But just on that note, when my dad got diagnosed with cancer a year and 9 months ago,
Mm.
it was the month. So I was telling you earlier, the mic sat in the windowsill.
Yeah.
January 2023 comes around. He was diagnosed in February of that 2022 February. So a year was about to pull up. And he was able to work, and it wasn't bad in 2022.
Yeah.
2023 rolls around. I said, New Year's resolution time comes around, like, all that whole thing.
Yeah.
I said, God, what do you want me to do? And the mics were right there. And that was when the Faith-Based podcast came out. So I said, if I am going to carry this cross, I really have to be about this life. I really have to do it.
On everything.
Because the people that are watching are they're not watching me. They're watching to see if God is really what this world says he is.
Yeah.
Through me.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing.
And it's that deep.
It's not about me.
Is that serious?
But check this out, bro. The timing. So I'm planting all these seeds in the Bible because now I have a responsibility to allow him to use me, and I can't be used if I don't have a relationship with him.
Yeah.
I'm not in his word.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, how could I go teach golf? I've never swung a golf club in my life.
Yeah, on everything.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm reading the Bible, and this hit me like after he passed. And I'm still grieving all the things, but to tie it back to strength, I'm reading the Bible the entire year. I'm getting everything that I want to show the world, or I think he wants me to show the world,
Yeah.
is straight from the Bible. And I'm doing it to help people out, give this person hope, show them that it's not what you think it is.
Yeah.
It gets to the last week of him pretty much about to pass. And I'm sad, but I had this enough strength to like continue. My dad, he was 55.
Mm.
I had enough strength to get up and record the next day to tell my testimony
Yeah.
for a documentary.
Yeah.
I had enough strength 2-3 weeks after to start a Bible study. So this whole time my dad was sick was God like preparing me to catapult and help everybody else around the world that don't think that they can get up the next day. And I wasn't thinking about myself
Yeah.
where I was like, okay, God, like I'm reading the Bible, I'm getting better. I'm planting these seeds of strength. So if my dad passes, I will be okay. I wasn't thinking about it like that, bro.
Yeah.
But when my dad passed, I had this sense of peace and strength and like tenacity to want to like double down. You know what I'm saying? It's like your first video, you start getting some traction.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, bet. Like, I'm gonna make another one, And that, his passing, his transition, I think was God was stewarding me to be what I need to be for other people, to let other people see that I've got you. Just trust me. I'm gonna be there for you. And I'm not gonna say that I'm not still sad.
Yeah.
But I don't have darkness.
Yeah.
I don't have dark nights. I don't have confusion. I don't have regret. anger. I don't have questions.
'Cause there's this peace that surpasses all understanding.
Bro, when I was sitting down like in my room and like I can't remember what verse it is, but it tells you to sit down, get on your knees on the
Yeah.
side of your bed
Yeah,
and close the door. Like I had one of those moments.
yeah,
And I was like I can't even like it's crazy. I can't even explain it. But I say all that to say that his strength is timed to make you the strongest when you need to be the strongest.
yeah,
And that might be death, that might be your best friend backstabbed you, that might be a divorce, that might be sickness, whatever it
when
is.
you're at your lowest, when you're at
When
your
you're at
weakest,
your
man,
lowest, and that's in the Bible too, when he works best in weakness.
he shows his strength or your weakness.
It's the ultimate just white flag, bro. Like, all right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But I want to talk about you because you're also a walking testimony.
yeah,
And Instagram, people see what they want to see. But behind closed doors, your rabbit on the wheel is different for other people.
yeah.
You know, so you can start wherever you want, but my first question is, why haven't you given up yet?
That's wild. Why would you ask such a question? That's crazy. Why haven't I given up yet?
Yeah.
It's not a choice.
Mm-hmm.
I really was just talking to somebody about this. Like,
Come on, man.
like, life is complicated.
It really is.
Life is peaks and valleys, right? And there are many times that I want to give up,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm saying I don't have a choice. Like, of course I could like simply just be like, nah, like I'm not doing this no more.
Mm-hmm.
And just like sit in the house and not post anything, not like try to build anything or whatever. But um when I was 16, I learned my purpose
Mm-hmm.
in life. And I learned that God was using me through music. I learned that I didn't have to act out to fit in.
Mm.
And I learned that even though I'm different, God makes no mistakes.
Yep.
Right? And that was hard to accept. Like for a long time.
So is it a condition? Is it a
Man, folks
What-
always ask me that question. I don't know. I don't. Every time I ask Mondukes, I forget. But I don't think it was a condition. They just said I was supposed to die at the age of 3.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to be up until then. I was supposed to be blind, supposed to be deaf.
But you can
know, like
see,
all
hear,
that,
talk, rap, drive, everything.
I mean, I don't know about drive because I was born to be chauffeured. So life's
Passenger
been-
prince all your life.
life's been like complicated.
Yeah, man.
But ever since I learned my purpose, right? Like once you learn your purpose, it's really it's a responsibility.
Right, because
Like you can, but you can't walk away from it, especially being that I say like all the time I tell people about God,
Yep.
right? Or like I'm like, yo, God told me to tell y'all that
Mhm.
God is real, God is great, you do the work, you keep the faith.
Yep.
What would that look like if I said that
And gave
and
up.
and gave up?
Yep.
Right? I'm putting it in all the posts.
Yep.
I'm putting it, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like when I talk to people in real life, I'm like,
Mhm.
yo, listen, man, God is good.
Yeah.
You know, keep going and God's got you, right?
Yep.
And not believe that myself. Because there have been times, there was one time about 2 years ago now,
Mm-hmm.
when I had keloids on my ears
Mm-hmm.
and they were so big and like I tried to get insurance to cover it, but insurance wouldn't cover it.
Mm-hmm.
And like my cousin ended up helping me like find a place where they did the surgeries. I had to get a loan, all that stuff. But when I was at my aunt's house for family, like Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
I was standing around my family telling them, I don't know why God has me here. I don't even know if he still has a plan for me.
Dang, dude.
Because, like, it took me a long time to understand that I'll never grow another arm.
Right.
Right? And that took a long time to be okay with.
Right.
So then when keloids started growing on my ears, I had to deal with a whole nother mindset of, will this be for the rest of my life? Will this be for the rest of my life where I have to figure out how to look myself in the face
Right.
when I'm in front of the mirror?
Right.
Will it be for the rest of my life when I'm outside and I'm self-conscious around people?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sitting around my family and I'm like, listen, I prayed, you know what I'm saying? I talked to God.
Did all the things.
Yeah, I'm too old because when I was 16, I had a whole moment with him that I share a lot when I didn't know how to politely speak to God. And so when I was 16, I verbally cussed God out. Right? So at this age now, I'm like, well, I can't go back to that. Like I have a whole different level of respect for God.
100%.
Right? Regardless of what I'm going through. And so I'm just sitting there telling him, I'm like, I talked to God. I mean like almost like yell at him, but I can't, you know what I'm saying? It's just I don't know what to do. And I mean, if this is the rest of my life, I don't think that, and I'm telling them, I'm like, yeah, but you can live.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got a great life plan ahead of you, like, cause God got y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's at your lowest.
Mm-hmm.
It's at your lowest where God just be like, listen, I
was
you to
almost done.
I needed you to be here at this moment.
Bro.
I needed you to be here at this moment to feel this.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you get a feeling of a trial, a feeling of a tribulation, you understand what that feels like, and then you see how God moves through it.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't give up, or I haven't given up, because I've seen God move. Dude. Like throughout my whole life, right? So the doctor said I wouldn't live past 3. I lived past 3.
How old are you now?
I'm 28, right? When I was 16, I read an article that said black men don't live past the age of 25.
Oh my God.
So subconsciously, I'm starting to think I'm not going to live past 25.
9 years before.
Right? And so like that's why Not Start is a song. Because from 16 all the way to 26, I was like, I'm not going to live.
Dude.
Because even after I made it past 25, I was like, this has got to be a joke. Right?
Dang.
And so, like, God kept me past 3, kept me from 16 when I read that, when I thought that I wasn't going to live, and he kept me through it all, even through my mishaps, my mistakes, my bad decisions. He kept me just to show me how real he is. Just to show me that no matter what people in the world say, no matter what I think myself, because there's this idea around the world of what beauty looks like, of what healthy looks like, of what a standard is.
Right.
Right? God is like, I made you. And I made you to be here. I made you to be present, regardless of what you're going through. Like, it was hard to be on the music scene with keloids continuously growing on my ears. But I had to keep coming out just to like build something and just to keep showing up every day, because every song that I have, God is my ghostwriter.
Dang.
Like when people ask me, yo, like, how did you write this song? My genuine answer is I don't know. Because if I did know, I would need, like, God would have me in something else.
That's
Because
deep.
my life is about needing Him,
That's deep, bro.
right? Like, my life is like, if I could do the music by myself, I wouldn't excel, right? I could excel, like, and God would let that happen,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd be in my purpose would be in something else.
Mm-hmm.
But my purpose is in this music, and I have no idea how to write a hit. I have no idea how to write. My prayer is for the songs to be powerful, purposeful, positive, and timeless.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea how to write it. I got like a clue because like I'm the one who's like typing the stuff up,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like I can never explain it to people. It's like when I hear it, I hear it.
And you feel it because
And
that
I
feeling.
feel it, and it's like throughout the years, right? I put my first song on iTunes
Mm-hmm.
in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the keloid started growing, right? And I had to get out here, even though like the keloids were small or whatever. I had to get out here. They got bigger each month, each year, and every song God gave me was for the moment in time that I needed to hear it, and
Yes.
someone else needed to hear it.
That's what I was telling you earlier, that the content comes from the Bible.
Yeah,
And I want you to think about this. Think about who it impacts if you don't reach your fullest potential.
yeah.
If you throw in the towel,
Which answers your question.
who is impacted?
Yeah, which
If I
answers your
give up.
question, man. Like, I haven't given up because I understand more and more, like, the more I walk by faith.
Yeah.
Listen, life is tough,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there have been many times where I've told God, like, just give me a normal life.
Mm-hmm.
Forget the gift.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Forget the like whatever I think I want, blah blah blah, like that I'm dreaming of. I know you want me to dream big, but I don't want to dream.
Yeah.
I just want a simple, like just give me a simple life. I won't complain. None of that. God be like, listen, I have more for you.
Dude.
I don't want you to settle.
Dang.
And you know how hard we know how hard that is because we're human. We're dealing
Right.
with life like day by day.
Right.
And as a human, even being raised in the church,
Yeah.
even reading the Bible, even talking to God, praying to God, sometimes in a day,
Mm-hmm.
God feels like He's in the sky and not beside you
Mm-hmm.
and not inside you,
Mm-hmm.
not in your heart. And sometimes when it feels like that, it's like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Right? But it's like the more I walk step by faith, God is showing me how close He is,
Yes.
how not out of reach He is.
Right.
Like how like if you almost think about it, right? Like they call me gifted hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
My actual physical hands don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
But my gifted hands exist through music, through the way I speak, through everything that God gives me as a gift, right? So it's almost like with my gifted hands, I can physically touch God.
100%. Because it's not physical, it's spiritual.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I can't give up because my life is not my own.
Yeah.
My life is not just about me. And however long God wills for me to live, it has to glorify Him. My life has to glorify Him in such a way where however many people He wills for me to like plant seeds,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, like they have to be like impacted in such a way where they know like God is real.
Yes.
God is great. You do the work. You keep like that's like I wholeheartedly know.
Yes.
He told me
Yes.
to tell everyone that.
Yes.
Like, and it's like I was like you know how like folks be like, yo, how you know you hearing from God?
Yes.
I be like, cause I know I wouldn't normally say that in the first place.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
He got me really out here stewarding people.
yeah, and I'm like,
Me?
yeah, that's not me.
Yeah,
right?
that's not something I wanted to do.
like,
Like
that
when I was a
is-
kid, I didn't want to be a
I'm out here
a
like
disciple.
this don't sound like me. I just want to be in a cut somewhere, like
Yeah,
just chilling for real, like.
yeah.
But God, man, through my frustrations, through the difficulty of life,
Mhm.
not being able to tie my shoe,
Mm-hmm.
not being able to independently do things, God keeps showing me how close He is because each day when I step outside, I never know who I need to talk to,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, like, I'm not gonna say like I just go outside and be like, yo, Lord, who, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I be outside, just be like,
Being you.
I'm going for it. Like I want to be outside because I want to be out the house, right? But like, God will cause a conversation to happen with a Uber driver
100%, bro.
that
Who-
just be
who's
like
been
out of nowhere, and they be touching on topics that's in my mind that I've been thinking about,
Yeah.
stuff that I'm trying to run away from.
And sometimes it starts out with, like you said, the Uber driver. Sometimes it's as simple as us asking, "How's your day?"
Yeah, on everything, and then it just goes like,
And they might be struggling, and then that is that special moment where
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, you need to become a Christian. You're gonna feel
have you
absolutely
heard about our
better.
Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
Yeah, exactly. The altar call.
Yeah.
But it's just like you get to be that example
Yeah.
of life and love and
and
strength.
The difficult part about it is, as humans, what we struggle with is, or what at least I've struggled with, is I've always wanted to be perfect.
Yeah.
I've always felt like, yo, if I was the perfect person, everybody could learn from me,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, if I did this right and did that right, and just, like, I could be the perfect example.
Yes.
But what maturity, growth, discipline, faith teaches you
Mm-hmm.
is it's through trials, tribulation, brokenness, hurt,
Mm-hmm.
frustration, difficulty, uneasiness, sickness, detriment
Mm-hmm.
that we grow.
Yeah. I'll say this. I don't think if I were to want to implement or imitate something, if something were perfect, it's almost too good to be true.
Right.
It's like what's the catch?
Right.
But we all face problems and pain. I want to learn how you got through that.
Yeah.
That is the example. And when the strength comes from something higher, I want to go to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like the perfect imperfection,
Yeah.
And
that's like what it's like over time God has shown me.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you don't have to be perfect, Emmanuel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm perfect. Like, that's a complete sentence.
Yeah, that's like a don't talk for the rest of the week sentence.
like you your whole life wanted to be perfect because you wanted people to look at you a certain way. You wanted people to see you, treat you differently, and understand that you've got it all together and that they should follow your footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
But they shouldn't be following you.
Right.
They should be following me,
Right.
God. Right? And it's like God's kept me alive
Yeah, man.
to show me how imperfect I need to be. Because it's through him I gain my strength. It's through him I gain my almost perfection.
Yeah, 100%,
Right?
bro.
It's through him that I gain my wisdom.
Yeah, because anybody's just like, how are you so happy? Like, how are you
'Cause,
doing
man,
this?
Listen. Do you know that first of all, like, with God, nothing shall be impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's a complete sentence.
That's the sentence.
Because, like, just think about your whole life, right?
Yeah, bro.
But in God, right? And I don't want to use, like, all these terms. Like, I want to be real, right? Like, in a day, when you're frustrated, like when I'm frustrated that I'm trying to brush my teeth
Mm-hmm.
and I'm putting the toothpaste on the toothbrush, but the toothpaste keep falling off the toothbrush.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I got to keep putting the toothbrush, you know what I'm saying? I got to keep putting it back up here. And so in my mind, like I'm 28, but it still sometimes go back to I wish I had hands.
Right.
I'm still dealing with that
100%.
struggle.
Yep.
But there is a level of peace. It's unexplainable
Yeah.
that when you communicate with God, through Lord, I don't even know why I'm sitting here having to deal with this because I shouldn't have to deal with this because I should have two hands like everybody else, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Like even through frustratingly communicating with him like that, he's showing me that he's like here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's given me a level of I can't explain the peace that he gives me through frustration when I'm just talking to him.
You know what's crazy? Because
When I'm just living, when I'm just going through experiences that you think would break me.
mm-hmm.
Like I've never had this happen, but there are people around the world who have to deal with people who have to take care of them.
Yeah.
And those people take advantage of those people.
Right.
Right? And like, man, Lord, please show up in their lives.
I know. Yes, please. And I think the crazy part is too, bro. And I had a hard time trying to figure out how I can discern his voice.
Yeah.
And the Satan sits in those moments where that toothpaste is not being your friend.
Yeah.
And he's waiting to water that seed that you had when you were he's waiting to water that
Yeah.
seed when you were 16, when you were cursing him. That is what he
Yeah.
wants. And I think if people can start to discern the voice between the two, God is going to be there with you mentally and spiritually helping you through that moment. Satan's going to look at you and say, I told you so.
Yeah.
God's going to be kind to you in your frustration. I was in my Bible study the other day. Mary and Martha, if you know the story, he pulls up to their house and Mary sits down on the ground and Martha's like fixing the house up,
Yeah.
fixing the table. And she's like, God, why is my sister not helping me?
Yeah.
But the next sentence he says, my dear Martha. Satan ain't saying that, my dear.
Yeah.
My dear Martha, you're worried about all the wrong things. He was so kind and gentle to her. And I think if people, and even myself, like I started to really look into that, like trying to figure out what his voice was, because it wasn't like I'm sleeping and then I had this crazy dream that everybody is dreaming about having, this crazy dream. But he's so kind and gentle and intentional with how he responds to you, the devil's going to say, he's going to accuse you.
Yeah.
He's going to try to get you to do something that you don't want to do in your heart.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you're untouchable.
And the differences, Satan will speak to you in a way that leads to you
Taking a
pleasing-
shortcut.
pleasing your flesh.
Yeah.
Like, because it's flesh versus spirit,
Yeah.
right? And so, like, you got three voices. It's you, Satan, and God.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, you as a human want things for yourself. Satan wants things that's going to take you away from God,
Yeah. He wants that separation.
right? God, even when you don't understand why you're doing what you're doing, God wants you to do things that are going to please him.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you don't understand how this is going to please him.
Right.
That's why his thoughts are way higher than yours.
And that pleasing might not be able to be monetized.
Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? So it won't be for your benefit,
Mm-hmm.
right? But, like, the difference is, like, God has, like, a still voice. Like, it's like such a...
Like a grandma that just made Thanksgiving. She just made
it's
dinner.
Like you
Come
know
here,
what I'm saying?
baby.
Yeah. And he's such a gentleman where he'll tell you what to do. Like, and don't get it confused. Anytime God tells you to do something, it's not a suggestion,
Yes.
right? It's a command,
Right.
And he's telling you what to do. But he didn't make robots. He gave
Right.
everybody free will. So when he tells you, he's like, this is what I'm telling you to do. And it's on you to listen.
Right.
Right? Once you don't listen, he's not like, oh, you didn't listen?
Yeah. You idiot.
He's like, okay, this is what, like, it's either this is the consequences you face,
Yeah.
or, okay, let's try this again.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe you didn't hear me the first time.
Right.
I just said, do this. Right? And God will give you second chance, third chance, 10th chance.
70 chances.
Yes, until you get it. But by the 70th chance, you might be dealing with some stuff that you wouldn't have had to deal with.
On chance 3. 100%. And that chance 70 might be substance abuse.
Yeah.
It might be whatever it is.
And then you're at a point in your life where now, oh God, it's your fault. Right? Like, why would you?
Why would, yeah.
God
Like,
gave
what
you
was
free
me?
will
What was me?
to make your own choices. It's on you to be obedient.
And I think the beauty of that is after the 70th chance, you still get a 71st chance.
Yeah.
It just takes that one person. It takes that one conversation. It takes that one song, whatever it is, that one mentor to help you see life in a different light. And I'm not saying to just go do whatever you want
Yeah.
and flat out disrespect them. But if you're looking for what love is, that's what it is.
God is love, man.
He created it.
Yeah. He's like, it's the beauty of it. Like, the love and forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
The love and the second chances.
Mm-hmm.
The love and
And the
like,
acceptance.
yeah.
The
You know what I'm
acceptance.
saying? Like, where you understand, like, oh my gosh, I made a mistake, but you aren't leaving me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not who I want to be, but you're not forsaking me.
Yeah, man.
Like,
That's real.
that's very real because that's real love.
Dude, this has been a great conversation.
Yeah.
But I do want to take a pivot and kind of talk about some of the successes
Mhm.
that you've been walking through. You know what I'm saying? So the TikTok that I saw, you and Timberland.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I want to give you the space to give give God the glory in your success
Man,
as well. So talk about it.
like my whole life, like I said, has just been like God is my ghostwriter. And like everything that like be lining up,
Mm-hmm.
it just be God, because it don't even be me. Like I don't even know how these things just be happening, bro. Like,
The one where you're walking down the track.
yeah, like
People are like they're like duetting your like they're doing all that stuff.
yeah, like and they're telling their stories. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
crazy.
And that's God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
bro.
you got to realize how many people who may have hopped on that open verse challenge
Mm-hmm.
who never had an outlet.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? Because man, what are we? It was some people from Namibia.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? From Ghana, Nigeria, who like getting on a song where they can be vulnerable.
Dang.
There aren't many open verse challenges like that.
No, sir.
There aren't even many songs that's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In a vulnerable state. Where like you're showing people, hey, I'm dealing with this and dealing with that, but God.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's never too late. And the success that I've been able to have, God is great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he has me so focused on impact
Yes, sir.
that sometimes I don't even like pay attention to what's like actually happening.
Yes,
Like
sir.
the stuff that like people are like excited about.
Yeah.
Like I get excited probably about like briefly. Like,
Yeah.
and when I say briefly, I'm like the moment that it's happening.
It's like, oh snap.
Yeah, yo, this is cool.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, but like, cause in my life, like when I get outside and I go in an Uber or I go outside and I'm walking down the street, there's always somebody I don't know who I need to talk to. And so if I get caught up in success, then I'm straying away from impact.
Dang.
So, and then I'm straying away from the purpose that God has for me. So like everything that's been happening, like when Why Not Start went viral, like I kept telling people like, man, the DMs that I get, like when people are saying, yo, your song is saving my life.
Oh my gosh.
Like when I was getting cash apps because people said, yo, this is because I didn't in my life.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't focus on who was DMing, like the celebrities or whatever that was DMing me or the number of followers that I got. I'm like, yo, all that stuff is cool, but like God showed me my purpose a long time ago.
Right. Right.
Like I'm in it now. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, what do you require of me next, Lord?
Yeah.
Like what how can I, because I'm still dealing with me too.
100%.
Right? I'm still dealing with like, yo, I'm trying to be a better person. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to for God, for me, for like everyone around me. So I'm like, the success is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And just recently, man, this would be a perfect time to say this.
If you can say names, feel free. If you can't,
This would be the perfect time to say this.
If you can't, I can blurb it out.
Okay. I don't want to say this. Okay, so as a person with a disability, I've never had a job, right? And so I've never really made money. I mean, I've had SSI, right? But SSI has been less than $1,000 a month.
What's SSI?
It's like a government, like what the government gives you when you're disabled.
Okay.
Right? And it's like less than $1,000 a month, right? And when like they were passing out like the pandemic checks and stuff, man, it
Mhm.
broke my heart because it was like they had wrote in the article, oh, SSI recipients won't be receiving the stimulus check, even though they're some of the poorest people among America, right? That broke my heart just to even know I was like amongst that, right?
Yeah.
And so I've never been able to get a job. Like the things that I've applied for or whatever, tried to do,
Mhm.
just didn't work out. Whatever.
Mhm.
Um, Going viral, I made like my first, like good amount of money.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yo, this is like that. I'm like, yo, this is cool. Like I'm able to get out the house. I'm able
Mhm.
to like go places that I don't have to go with my family. And, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? I can just get an Uber to go down the
Mhm.
street
Mhm.
and,
Mhm.
just chill and whatever. And as numbers started going down, the money started going down too, right? And I'm like, okay, well. And so just I think last month or 2 months ago, uh money's been tight, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And so, man, it was probably about like before the let's say before the 10th of October,
Mhm.
I was down to my last $50 because I had paid everything that I need to pay,
Mhm.
right? And um, I was down to my last 50. So I wasn't gonna take no Uber nowhere because I had to get an Uber back and
Mhm.
wasn't no point in eating out because like man, I'm just sitting in the house, bro.
Yeah.
And somebody had told me that Timberland be going live or whatever.
Mhm.
And so I was like, yo, let me do this. And I submitted the $50 because you
Mhm.
had to, you didn't have to, but I've been on lives where you can comment all night, but like, yo, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, and then
Yeah.
they never see you.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me go ahead and do the
$50.
guaranteed play or whatever. And it was my last $50, man. And um, I almost like didn't even stay through the whole thing because like I don't know if it was my internet connection or his or whatever, but it was like glitchy and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and it was like, yo, I'm not about to. But like soon as I was about to get off, it said, yo, we're inviting you into the live.
Oh my gosh.
And when I went up there with him on the TikTok live, what the conversations that I was having like with my like team over the past year was like
Mhm.
the assumption was that like the Pharrells, Pusha T's, Timberlands already knew of me
Oh really?
because there were so many other like celebrities who like knew me
Mhm.
or have heard of me. So I'm like, well, like, there's no like, this is cool, like, cause he's gonna be like, yo, I heard of you, blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
But he had never heard of me,
Oh wow.
and I was like, word, and he was like, yo, he was like, yo, why y'all kids these days be making this sad music, right? And I
Dang.
was like, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like, did you see my page? Like, he was like, man, I'm about to go look on your page.
Oh for
Then he
real?
looks on my page and he was like, yo. And I got a video on my Instagram where I recorded what he was saying. He was like, yo, you're a testimony, you're a miracle.
Yeah.
Like, you're dope. And I was like that was a dope moment, right?
100%.
So then from there, uh, he had like we exchanged numbers, and he ended up telling me that he was doing like a video for something
Mhm.
where like he flew me and my manager out
Dang.
to Miami. We did the video for that, you know what I'm saying, and then man, just to have the moment was like cool. Cause I was like, yo, I thought they knew of us
Yeah.
already. And it's like, and it shows you like how big the world is,
Yeah, for real.
like, and how much is going on where like people wouldn't know what you're doing
Yeah.
unless you're like, you just gotta stay consistent, right?
100%. That's the part right there.
You just gotta stay consistent because you don't know who knows you and you don't know who doesn't know you.
Dang.
And yeah, but so that moment was a really dope moment because like I said earlier, there were so many moments this year I wanted to quit.
Yeah,
Right?
man.
And God has shown me time and time again. Every time I try to walk away from music,
Right back in your face.
because I'd be like, Lord,
Like, are you serious?
give me a regular life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Dang.
but like I said earlier, God be like, I don't want you to settle. I don't want you to settle. And I have this for you, and all of this stuff will be in my timing, God's timing. Um, but son, I have more for you if you just walk with me.
Dude, that's the
Right?
deepest part.
If you just listen, if you just obey. And I got things that I'm dealing with, like internally, personally, that I have to like understand more with God. I have to like obey more with
Mm-hmm.
God, like, and God will open more doors. And even if he like, it's not about him opening doors. It's just about me being obedient to what he's saying.
And I think that's when you showcase that obedience, that's when he starts. He gives you 1 penny.
Yeah,
You handle it right. Okay, let me give you 5.
yeah,
You handle it right. Okay, cool. Let me give you 10. And since you were 16 years old,
man.
the investment that you put,
Yeah,
that last penny you put into God, even though
Yeah.
it was cursing, he said, okay, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you this. And it's just going to keep multiplying, bro.
and it keeps like, and it's never like, you know how like in normal conversations they were like, yo, the pathway to success isn't like just a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, in your faith, right? Like what you're praying for, what you're asking God for, seeking God for, like it's not just like God's a genie.
Yes.
God's not a genie.
Or a yes
he's
man.
He's not a yes man. He's not
Mhm.
just gonna be like, oh, you said you wanted a Corvette. Here's a Corvette. I mean, he can do that. Like,
Yeah.
it does happen or whatever, but that's not like with everything that you want.
But
It's like, okay, do you need it?
Right.
Right.
like when you get the Corvette, are you going to worship the Corvette or are you going to worship me?
Right. Like, are you going around to boast about the Corvette?
Right.
Right. And it's like over since 16, like over the years, like God has been molding me in such a way where I won't be egotistical.
Yes.
I won't be like, so like when people say success, like the Timberlands, the whatever,
Mhm.
like I don't.
It's not your
There's
identity.
There's nothing in me that's like, yo, yeah, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I was with Timberland and I'm the best, and
Mhm.
like,
It's not
because
your identity.
my message, my testimony isn't that Timberland flew me out.
Yeah.
My testimony is, yo, God's been working through me in such a way that Timberland flew me out. Right? Right?
The sentence is a little
The
different.
sentence is very different. Like,
Yeah.
because one gives credit to Timberland,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other shows you how God moves. Even cause like you gotta think when I was 22, I was 22. This is 2017 when I put my first song on platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And I went door to door selling CDs
Wow.
because I mean if you want it, you gotta do something. Right?
Yeah.
And I went to over 1,000 houses, man.
You counted them?
Yes. Well, like not like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
But like I know that like the neighborhoods, and you realize that
Yeah.
it's over 1,000 houses, and plus like I know how many CDs I sold.
Yeah.
So I sold over 600 CDs.
Wow,
Right,
dude.
and this was about 5 to 6 months of like just going door to door because like some days it rained, and like so I didn't go outside, or some
Mhm.
days it was just too hot, or like whatever.
Yeah.
But I literally walked from like my neighborhood to like 2, 3 of the neighboring neighborhoods, right, over a span of like 6 months, and I sold over 600 CDs going door to door. So I definitely went to over 1,000 houses.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
You sold 600. That's 600 doors. You probably didn't sell every house, so you probably touched
Yeah,
another
like-
300, 400.
and a lot of people shut the door in my face.
Really?
Right? And a lot of people told me to get a real job. You know
Oh
what I'm
my
saying?
gosh.
And then there were people who said like, yo, I don't even listen to rap music, but let me give you a donation.
Mm-hmm.
And so God has been like moving through like through the very beginning of my musical, like professional musical journey. Like
Mm-hmm.
God has definitely been moving. And like even when people said they didn't listen to hip hop, like
Right.
listen to rap, like he'll move in a way like well you never expected. You like yo, you be thinking like, yo, I need such and such to co-sign me, right? And then God would be like, nah, here's a door. You'd be like, oh, wow, I didn't need. Okay, great, great. You know what I'm saying? This is even better,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, right? And like so, like, but my testimony, my life isn't about like going through these things, succeeding, and then like bragging to everybody about like what I've got, like the money I've got, the accolades I've got, the numbers I've got, the followers. You know, I'm like none of it is about that. All of it is about like, yo, y'all gotta see how God is moving through my life.
Where I was back then to now.
Where I was last week
Yeah.
versus where I am now.
Right.
Where I was yesterday versus where I am today.
Yeah.
Versus where I am tomorrow.
Right.
Because he's always moving.
Dang,
right?
man.
Because I'm taking, like, when I talk to people and they're like, yo, how are you doing? I'm like, yo, I'm just living one day at a time, right? My thing to people is, yo, take it one day at a time because that's all we can do in the
Right.
first place, right? And it allows us to really hone in and focus on the step-by-step faith. It's a step-by-step faith where we just put one foot in front of the other and say, Lord, I trust you.
That's it.
Right? And this is hard. This is hard when you have senses and you just want to like look around and you want to, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like examine everything and make sure that like
Yeah.
the foundation is solid enough. And so this is hard to close your eyes spiritually and just lean not into your own understandings, but in all your ways acknowledge him so he
Proverbs
directs your
3.
path. Like this is hard. This is difficult.
Yeah.
Right? But God is like, how many times do I have to show you that I have you? How many times do I have to show you that I'm God, I'm not human? That I am God, that I created you.
Mm.
I formed you. I'm molding you. You are to trust me. I will direct your paths if you lean to me.
I sent my son, my flesh.
You know what I'm saying?
If I had this, I don't have any kids, but if I had the responsibility
Yeah.
to send my son
Yeah.
to die for everybody's sin on this earth,
Everybody go.
that I'm not doing it.
Hey, look, everybody go, man.
I'm not sending my son.
Hey, look, y'all on y'all own for real.
I'm not sending my son.
Yeah.
He sent his own son
Yeah.
he put his son through pain. His son felt the truest separation from God
Yeah.
when he died on that cross. I want people to hear that. He sent his only son.
Man.
And it says that he was thinking, I don't know the exact words, but the purpose of it was for the now, the sin in then and to come.
Yeah.
So purpose is linked directly to that.
Yeah.
The fact that I was thought of eons before I was created, and then thought of the plan that would get me access to the kingdom before anything even existed.
Yeah.
I was thought of.
So the next time you think you're a mistake. So the next time you think you're a failure.
Mm-hmm.
So the next time you think your life is worth nothing. Remember that Jesus died for you.
Dang.
Long ago. So that you may have life
Mm-hmm.
abundantly.
100%. And just having that thought and letting go of everything else might be your abundance. It doesn't have to be $1 million.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a car. It doesn't have to be marriage.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be anything tangible. I can go to sleep at night now. I can wake up and want to live now.
Yeah.
I can wake up and appreciate something as simple as breathing. And we all take that for granted.
Yeah.
You know? We need a part 2, bro.
Let's do it, man.
We need a part 2, bro.
Yeah, this conversation deep, boy. Conversation deep,
I
man.
don't even know how to end this.
Man, just by saying that, like, God is so real. And he had you create this podcast so that days from now, months from now, years from now, people will see testimonies. They will hear testimonies. They will see faith in action
Mm-hmm.
to show how real he is. Because it's not about us. It's about giving him glory through our story. Oh, snap, you know what I'm saying? Huh?
Glory through the story.
Huh?
That might be the new tagline.
Come on now.
Dude, I appreciate you for being on, man.
Man, thank
And
you,
I
man.
truly hope that we can be friends for
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah,
Because I need people like you
yeah.
in my circle. And my circle is smaller than this table.
Mine too, man. So come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel that friendships, relationships like this are very important because I really don't meet a lot of people who are like deep in their faith. I don't.
Yeah.
Like
Me either.
and like out loud.
Yeah.
You know?
Publicly.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody willing to do everything else out loud. You know what I'm saying? Boldly.
Mhm.
But a lot of people aren't thanking God out loud.
Mm-mm.
Right? And if they are thanking God out loud, sometimes they're thanking the wrong God out loud.
100%.
And so I think establishing friendships,
Fellowship.
like fellowship like this is very crucial
Yes.
to our walks with God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what he put us here for.
Insanity. Insanity, you know? So, but Emmanuel, I appreciate you for being on, bro.
Thank you for having me, man.
I appreciate it. And for those who listened, I truly hope this planted some kind of seed. If you need something, feel free to reach out to me. I don't care what it is. If sometimes things don't become testimonies until you realize that it is one and
Yeah.
speak it.
Yeah.
So if you felt like this moved you, speak it. Tell somebody.
Yeah.
And this is gonna close out the year. And for those who are and were or is supporters, I appreciate you for supporting this show, but also listening to God
Yeah.
through each and every single episode, because that's what it was, and that's what it'll continue to be. So I look forward to your success.
Yeah.
I look forward to your success being a stronger and stronger and stronger relationship with God, because that is true success.
Yeah.
He can take away everything, but he cannot take away what is in your heart and your relationship with him. He won't take it away.
Yeah.
So I wish you guys a great rest of the year. forward thinking. I wish everybody a good 2024. Plant those seeds now.
Yeah.
Plant them now. It's never too late. And God is good.
God is real. God is great. You do the work and you keep the faith. God bless you.